All right, let's see. So ready for file 4. Here we go. All right, thank you so much for coming. We're gonna talk a little bit of top tips to save time when we're meal prepping. You know who I am. I'm Estefania. And we're gonna be talking a little bit about how we can save time and money when we're meal prepping. But first of all, I wanted to talk about what is the CrossFit Warehouse framework and what we focus on in CrossFit Warehouses. We believe that something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple habit-based approach. We know that helping people make a way of life isn't just about what we eat or working out a few hours in the gym. We use a holistic approach, meaning that we use our lifestyle, our support system, your stress management, your nutrition and lifestyle, and all of that combined, that's what it makes you. And that's how we want to help you to be better. So we all know, we all had that. They coming back from work. We thought that we took the chicken out of the freezer. We didn't do that. And then we're like scrambling and trying to find food and see what we're gonna buy. And then we end up ordering food. So we're end up buying food that may not align with our goals to become a healthier person. And we end up paying, for money. Another example is sometimes in the morning, breakfast is skipped because we're busy with the kids, the dogs. Everything happens in the morning. So then we decide and then I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts and spending money and adding sugar and fat to your diet. But what if we were able to create a plan to increase your confidence and make food just as convenient, is not more, to help you save money and fuel your body to help you feel your best. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. To become meal preppers and be pros so we can save time and a little bit of money. Now, tip number 1, let's block some time right after going grocery shopping. So ideally, we plan for the day ahead of time. We say like, okay, this week we're going to try to go, let's say Wednesday, and you're going to block some time before for meal prep, for making a list for what you're going to buy. And then after you go and do the grocery shopping, to make your week more efficient, you're going to plan the day, you're going to do grocery shopping, and then when you come back, block that 1 hour. With that 1 hour, when you come back, you're going to have time to pre-wash and cut your veggies. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. And then just to make sure that we have that time, block it out right after. We can put everything away on our pantries, and then wash and pre-cut our veggies and plan so that way we can have a better week. And this is super important. When we go grocery shopping, we want to keep ourselves outside, in the outside, as you can see this guy over here in this picture, outside of the grocery store or the perimeter. So when you do that, you avoid staying on the places that you have processed food and you end up buying more whole foods. This is a way to kind of not to be in the middle of the aisles and try to keep yourself in the outside so you can buy more whole foods and keep yourself a little bit healthier. Let's go on to tip number 2. We write out, before we go on to the tip number, we want to write out this list, and we want to do it like in different sections. So we can have our protein, and then we can write down all the proteins that we want to buy. We kind of want to brainstorm maybe before what kind of meals we want to have, so you have a better idea of what you're going to buy. Then you do the same with the fruits, you do the same with the veggies, and you do the same with the miscellaneous 8 items, maybe your legumes and grains, and maybe your beverage. So they're like right there available for you. Tip number 2. Remember I told you when you're blocking that hour after going grocery shopping, so you have enough time to pre-wash and chop veggies and fruits. After you come back from grocery shopping, keep your produce in the corner. So put everything away, like organize your fridge and your pantry, and then cut those veggies so they're easy to grab. If we have more people, let me hold up. I'm just gonna mute you guys because otherwise I can hear you. All right. So we chop those vegetables and we have them ready to go. And when you put it in the fridge, make sure they're eye level. So you don't want to hide them in drawers so you don't see them. You want to have it eye level so you see them and they're easy to grab too. My favorite thing to do when I come back from grocery shopping after everything is clean and I cut my vegetables, I usually cut bell peppers and put it in Ziploc bags so they're easy to have and to hold and to grab when I'm gonna go and have it as a little snack. If you're pressed for time and you don't have time at all to cut any of the vegetables, they are in the grocery stores when you go to the produce area. They do have them chopped. So that would be like the last resource. If you don't have time to cut them at all, you can buy them already chopped and that will save you some time. And pro tip, your vegetables, if you put it onto a container with a damp paper towel and the lid a little bit open, that's gonna keep them fresh for longer. Now, if you want to be super efficient with your time, and then you have time within that hour after grocery shopping, you can also start cooking. Maybe you can make your staples like easy broccoli. That's easy to do. You just put all the broccoli. I can, as you can see in this picture, that's one ingredient. You can put all the seasoning that you like, and you have that cooked and ready to go. So that's one thing that will save you time, and then you have some veggies all ready to go. Oh, I'm going back. All right, here we go. All right, tip number 3, cook your protein. Protein take a little bit longer than veggies, so you can cook those in bulk. For example, a beautiful day like today, you can grill some chickens for 1 day or 2, so you can have them available. A lot of people is doing that because the weather is so beautiful today. You can use a crock pot, and then you can put your pork and chicken in the morning, and then when you come back, you have all of that ready, and that's so good, that feeling when you come back home and your food is already ready. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That would be tip number 2. Sorry. Then, yes, cook yourself. I'm going ahead of myself. I'm getting super excited. All right. Now, we're going to cook your proteins. Tip number 4, and this is important as part of your planning. Find recipes that you're excited about and keep it in rotations. Let's say you're going to buy chicken, but you don't want to eat chicken the same way. Keep 1 or 2 recipes in rotation so you can vary and have different kind of meals every week. So maybe this week you want to bake your chicken. Maybe next week you want to air fry. But if you have those recipes simple and available to you, that's going to save you time. A good tip is to have recipes that the entire family enjoys so you can cook and everybody's happy. You can buy or you can have on your phone like a weekly meal plan, and you can kind of write down the meals that you guys want to do for the week, and that will save you time when you go grocery shopping to buy the things that you need to create your meals. Now, when we created meals, I want you to remember that we want to eat balanced meals. What that means is following the plate method. So that means half of your plate is going to be veggies, a quarter is going to be protein, and the other quarter is going to be starch. And a mindful thumb of mindful fat. Now, let's talk a little bit about recipes. So egg roll bowl and the rice, that's only had 3 ingredients. It's super, super easy to do. That's also an idea for lunches. Cheesy beef and broccoli, that is only 2 ingredients. We have broccoli, 2 veggies, broccoli and cauliflower, and then a little bit of cheese. You put it in the oven for 10 minutes, 400 Fahrenheit, and that is ready to go. We talk about dinners. Let's talk in lunches. Let's talk a little bit about breakfast. Breakfast is a lot of times skipped. So we want to eat whole foods, protein, carbs, and fat. So what we can do when we are blocking that hour after grocery shopping, if you do have the time within an hour, you can cook, like prepare your breakfast for the next day. For example, the recipe is a double chocolate chip overnight oats. You can prepare that for 1 or 2 days if you don't mind eating the same thing. You can also make egg muffins, and that one they can have already vegetables, so that will get you started. You have your protein and your veggies. Now, you're probably asking yourself where you can find all these recipes. If you go to our Instagram and you go onto our link tree, if you go right there under nutrition and you click onto recipes, you're gonna find all of these recipes easy for you to use. If you go onto our website, you will go under nutrition and recipes and you can find all of these recipes for vegetarians and vegans, or anything that you like. All those recipes are right there for you to use. Let's go to tip number 5. Have kitchen gadgets that will save you time. So if time is your main constraint and you don't have a lot of time, you can have gadgets that they will help you so you can cook a little bit faster. For example, an air fryer. An air fryer will cut in half cooking your protein. So you can cook a piece of chicken within 10 to 12 minutes. Super, super, super fast. So air fry, and also you can cook vegetables and it will give you like that kind of crisp texture when you make them. So air fryer is a lifesaver. The crock pot. That's awesome for cooking in bulk. So you put in your chicken, your pork, your meat, you can put it on the crock pot. You leave it over there in the morning, and then when you come back, that's ready, and you can cook in batch. This one is an awesome gadget to have. And my favorite one, who likes to cut vegetables? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. I actually don't like it. So for me, this is my lifesaver. I have several different sizes and colors. This is one type of veggie cutters. They have in a Walmart. You can buy it on Amazon, and they are like, they save you time. If you are like me, they don't like to cut vegetables at all. I don't like it. This will save you time, and you can cut in a slice and more uniform. They will all come out in the same size, and that will save you a lot of time. And number 4, having containers for your meals. Now, it depends on what you go. And if you have, make sure that the kind that you are getting, those you can put it on the freezer if you had to put them over there, or the fridge, and they are good and safe for a microwave. But this is like a staple. It's a must for meal prepping and food prepping to have a container of your liking. I like the ones like this one in this picture because you have the sizes of how much veggies you have. See that is more than half. And then you have a little bit of starch, and then you have your protein. So I like the one that they have the portions because it kind of give you an idea. You don't have to be thinking. It's doing the play method for you. All right, tip number 6. Take a look at your pantry and make sure that you have the staples in there. So like the kind of like you need to do kind of like a cleanup and have everything organized as much as you can. Things that you can have in your pantry. You can have your grains, your legumes, your peanut butter, your mindful snacks, everything that you may need for your meal prepping. You should have it right there. So that way it's easy to grab, and then you don't have to go crazy because you're missing some ingredient for some recipe that you're trying to cook. Now, going back to those core principles, here across the warehouse, we want to focus on 3 things. We focus on whole foods first. So we're going to eat vegetables and meats, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. That means the plate method. Remember, half of your plate should be veggies, a quarter should be protein, a quarter should be starch, and then a little bit of fat. Number 2, we want to focus on the imbalanced macronutrients. What are they? It's your fat, your protein, and your carbs. And number 3, we want to limit the amount of sugar and processed carbs that we eat. There are statistics showing that we Americans, we eat more than 160 grams per day of sugar. And we should eat 19 grams of sugar, women, and 24 men. So you can see, like, we eat a lot of sugar, or the statistics say that we eat a lot of sugar. All right, if we have FAQs, some questions. So I'm going to give you some questions that I have, and then if you have some questions, I'm going to open the floor so you can ask me. What if you're not a great cook? Well, that's a great question. Start small and be consistent. Look for recipes that are simple. They maybe have 1 or 2 ingredients, and be consistent and be consistent. The more that you do, the more reps that you do, the better you will get. Number 2, if you don't like vegetables at all, and that happens, some people, I'm going to challenge you to think that maybe you didn't find a way to cook them the way that you like. So maybe if you cook them in the air fryer to change the texture, so instead of being all mushy, they can be crispy and crunchy. Put in some seasoning in it, all the seasoning, so that would change the flavor of it. So you don't it would change the taste of it a little bit. And also putting some veggies on your smoothies so you can sneak them in there if you don't like it. Where should you start? Well, start on one thing, focus on one thing. A study said that if you focus for one thing, you are more likely to have an 80% success. And if you focus on 2 or 3, the success rate goes down. So let's focus on one thing. Let's start with maybe focus on the first one, maybe blocking that hour after grocery shopping and try to do that consistently. So start small. If you have no idea where to start, well, that's where we come in. Our nutrition program has helped people take control of their health. Stima does. These beautiful people right here. Some of the people, they are working with us and they are getting better, creating consistent habits to become healthier versions of themselves. If you need help, you can always schedule a free intro and you can start taking control of your pet. Now, big announcement. Woo! We do have a 28-day nutrition challenge that is going to start on March 25th. The link is already live. We're going to post it and you're going to have an opportunity to sign in. We're going to have more details for everybody. So you will see what you can get and we can start talking about it. Okay. So I'm going to come out. I'll stop sharing my screen. And anybody has any questions about what we talk about? Something that is stand out to you? Some of the tips that we talk about? Yes, no? So let's go over the tips. Tip number one.
Aya had a question.
Ask away.
No, Aya had a question in the chat.
Aya.
Oh, I didn't see Aya. Oh, I see Aya. Aya has a
I had a question. Anyways, so my question was, you mentioned a website that had like a bunch of different recipes. What can you repeat?
Our
what the
website. If you go to CrossFit Warehouse, our website has all the recipes. Go to CrossFitWarehouse.net, and then when you go onto the website, you go onto nutrition. On the tab nutrition, it has recipes, and you can get them right there. If you don't want to go onto the website, you go to Instagram, Linktree, nutrition recipes, and you can find all the recipe for lunches, dinners, and breakfast. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
I do have a question.
Ask away.
So, in case I want to get into the program, how that works? So you say if there's an intro, and then what's the next step after the intro?
So you will have you will schedule a free intro, and that will be like an interview to see what your goals are and what's your why are you interested in the program, and then we'll take it from there. Then you decide if you want to start doing nutrition with us.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
Estefania, what are your favorite recipes that you keep in rotation?
My favorite, I am very simple cook, so I always roasted veggies all the time. I love broccoli, bell peppers, and onions, and I cut those, chop them. Actually, I did that today because I ran out, so I cut them out. 10 minutes, 400 meters, and 400 meters. Oh my God, I'm thinking CrossFit. 400 Fahrenheit. I'm thinking CrossFit. Oh my God. In the stove, and they're ready to go. So the broccoli, broccoli, cauliflower, and bell peppers. Those are my go-to. They're easy. I cut them out right away, and I always have them available. Like it's like my rotation. Often for vegetables, and then for meat, chicken, I do it in bulk. And also I put it in the oven. I do like 5 or 6 or 7 chicken breasts. You know, I marinate it whatever way I want. I kind of like try to vary every week. And that's also my staple for every week. So I have food available and I don't end up, going out.
I have a question.
Ask away.
The containers you showed, the pretty like containers to separate everything to put the food in, did you know where we can get those?
I know those specifically you can order it from Amazon. The ones that I have, they're not that fancy. I'll show you. Oh, well, there, I don't have any. No. Looking for them. Yeah. Yeah, no. The ones that I have right now, they're not that fancy. They look like this. See, they're plastic.
Mm,
They're not that fancy because my family, they always lose them, so I can't go fancy.
okay,
They keep losing them, so I had to like, okay,
okay. Thank you.
no problem.
No, I asked her where she got the bowls to separate everything.
I saw them in Amazon, and I mean they're so cute, and I used to have them, but they lost them, so I was like, okay, no more.
Yeah, I bought some recently in Amazon. They're glass, so they were a little pricey, but they're cute.
Yeah, they are
What I
cute.
do,
They're awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're gonna lose them, maybe not.
yeah, what I
Costco,
do
my
want to
Costco,
invest
I
in,
have them for, like,
Stefania, is in
$7.
a veggie cutter. I think that's a big time saver that I struggle with because obviously we're always running around, but I'm definitely gonna look into the veggie cutter. So
They
thank you
have
for sharing.
they do have different veggie cutters also in Amazon. But if you go to Walmart, actually Walmart has an entire section of a lot of gadgets. They're like underrated, and like nobody goes and buys there, but they have a bunch of stuff that is affordable, and they're like you can try. I have different cutters. I like the cutter. I have that cutter for the specific vegetables, and then I have like the pseudo one. So when I do zucchinis, and you put the zucchini in there and kind of makes it like an spaghetti. I have that one too because again, I don't like cutting vegetables, and I don't have time. So
They sell them at the store already cut.
I
You
know, but I'm also cheap.
They sell them cut. They're already cut for you in the package.
Well, I'd rather pay 99 cents for the broccoli than $5.99 for the chopped ones.
Yeah. There
But
is
the
a thing
thing,
to be.
I buy it whole, I know it's gonna sit there and rot. So it's like, do I buy it with the intentions of chopping it, and it's not gonna get chopped, or just go for the chopped?
So for me, I do chop a lot of my vegetables as soon as I come back from grocery shopping. So I make my Carlos and Damis, they are in charge of putting everything away. So me, I cut the vegetables and I start putting in different, if I have time, I will cook them. If not, I haven't chopped. So the next day, when I have more time, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna put all my veggies and all my proteins, and I go that way. But yes, if I don't cut it right away, within 1 or 2 days, I won't do it, and then they will rot. So yeah,
Yep.
that has happened. That has happened. Been there, done that. All right, guys, do we have any more questions? If you have more questions about our nutrition challenge, the link is live. I'm gonna share that on our stories. Be on the lookout. It's gonna be out. We're gonna put flyers, and you're gonna have plenty time to do that. You will sign up, and then we're gonna get one day. We're going to meet together. We're gonna talk, set some goals, and then we're gonna have a Kickstarter, which is gonna be March 27. Any other questions for today?
No, thank you.
No, thank you so much, guys, for coming. And I recorded this time. I did good. I did good. And I'm going to send you the recording, so in case you wanna see me again. Thank